Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special presentation of the Dudley and Lanier Awards here on CBS 6. This is the more traditional setting for these honors after everyone has played a full fall season. Back in the spring, we waited for the bisected seasons all to come to an end to present what are Virginia's versions of the Heisman Trophy. This will be the 32nd year that the Dudley Award is given to the state's best player in Division I. Willie Lanier has been named on just about every all-time NFL roster that's ever been created. He was an 8-time All-Pro and is a member of the College and Pro Football Halls of Fame. And he continues to be a source of inspiration and knowledge for all of us, both inside and outside of the game. We are once again privileged and honored to have Mr. Lanier in studio with us. Thank you so much for being here tonight. When you watch today's game, how encouraged are you about the health of the game and just about the interest in it that persists to this day?
Well, Lane, it's just fascinating to watch the game and see the interest of fans, television.
Welcome back, everyone. For many years now, the Touchdown Club of Richmond has honored football effort across the state in conjunction with the presentation of the Dudley and Lanier Awards. Again this fall, they have honored 2 coaches as the best in Virginia. At the Division I level, the award is named for Richmond native Bobby Ross, who won a national title at Georgia Tech and took San Diego to the Super Bowl. Welcome back, everyone. We've handed out just about everything that we have, and it's time for the 2 biggest honors of the night. Up first, the Willie Lanier Award, given to the Player of the Year in Division II, III, or the NAIA level. And here, once again, to make the announcement is the sports editor of the Times-Dispatch, Michael Phillips.
Thanks, Lane, and it's an honor to present this year's Lanier Award to Devontae Jordan, Emory and Henry.
As for this year's Dudley winner, we give the floor back to the gentleman from Kansas by the way of the RTD. Mr. Phillips, take it away.
Thank you, and on behalf of the Times-Dispatch, our readers, our subscribers, we appreciate the opportunity to give out this award. The 2021 Dudley goes to Brennan Armstrong, UVA.
Brennan Armstrong becomes the 9th Cavalier to win the Dudley Award and the 4th quarterback from the Wahoos to be so honored. UVA players have now won this award in 4 of the past 5 years.
The State Open of Virginia, sponsored by Truist.
I want to welcome everyone across the Commonwealth to the final round of the 2021 State Open of Virginia, brought to you by Truist and the Virginia Lottery. Lane Casadonte alongside 3-time State Open champ Robert Wren. Steve Schoenfeld and Sean Robertson are out on the course. They will join us throughout the afternoon as well. And Robert, this is where you make your bones in this business, so to speak. Mark Lawrence, Evan Beck, and Jack Montague, all former champs. They've all been here before. How much does that help them on the final day?
Well, the cream has certainly risen to the top here at the State Open.
There was about 7 or 8 groups that had to finish their round first thing this morning. They came back in, they regrouped, made the cut, top 60 in ties, and then changed the tee boxes and the pin placements especially on the back 9. So a couple of them, Jack Montague, Evan Beck, had to finish up first thing this morning and then go back out. But really, the conditions here are kind of leaving the course a little bit vulnerable.
It really is, and we've seen some very good scores.
And as our leaders are gone through 10 holes today, you see that Mark Lawrence Jr. has a 1-shot lead over Evan Beck. Bryce Corbett, who is a player out of Radford Battlefield High School up in Northern Virginia, having the round of the afternoon as he is at 7 under par. He is playing the front 9 as his second 9 today, and Jack Montague finds himself 4 shots back. At the 12th hole, our leader, Mark Lawrence, found some trouble off the tee, but he saves his par to stay at 10 under, and making those 8 to 10 footers is going to be very crucial today. Let's take a look at the 13th hole where they're headed next. Normally a par 5 here, Robert, playing as a par 4 this weekend. And now Jack Montague for his first birdie of the day to get himself back to 4 under. And he gets one in the red.
Curb the enthusiasm.
Acknowledgement. It's been that kind of a day for Jack Montague.
I can understand that.
Both the winner and whomever comes in second, though, are probably going to be regretting a lot of the opportunities that they had out there to make this tournament their own before the last hole.
There's no doubt there are a lot of shots left on the table, especially by Mark Lawrence.
There is not much of any breeze here on 18, even at the tops of the trees that line this fairway in green.
Good aggressive pass through the ball. Oh my gosh, how about that?
As indecisive as he was, he certainly made up for it with the execution on that shot. Evan Beck in. It looks like he's got about 5 or 6 feet for his birdie. Beck is back. Evan Beck, 11 years after his first State Open title, has his second State Open championship with a birdie on the 18th to beat Mark Lawrence by 1.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight had the chance to be another tough night for VCU. Coming off a bad loss, without their leading scorer, and facing a team that also needed to build an NCAA resume, things could have gone sideways in a hurry for Mike Rhodes' team. Problem is, nobody told them that. It was senior night for Levi Stockard III, a St. Louis native, playing against, and former St. Christopher standout Gibson Jimerson as well, against the Billikens. First half, Ace Baldwin, the circus layup. Rams led by 5. Then Josh Banks with a corner 3. He had 7. VCU led 4 by 4 at the break. Bones Highland leading the cheers from the sideline, out with a foot injury. Second half, Hassan French, 21 points, 8 rebounds for him. A 13-0 lead for the Billikens. They led by 5. Vince Williams answers. Corner 3. He had 16. Ace Baldwin with 7 assists. Rams up by 3. A 10-2 VCU run. Then Stockard with the outlet pass to Hassan Ward for the slam. He had 8 and 3 blocks, tied at 54. Jordan Goodwin, 2 of his 16. The Billikens led by 2, tied at 65 under 5 seconds to go. Baldwin nails 2 free throws to give VCU the lead. St. Louis's final shot will not go. The Rams clinch a double bye in next week's A-10 tournament with their 67-65 win.
I thought guys were locked into what we were going to do in our game plan. They carried over to the game, and I just thought we played really hard. We played together, and they stuck to the game plan for pretty much most of the game.
Over at the Robbins Center, the A-10 Rookie of the Year last year, Trey Mitchell, returning from a shoulder injury for UMass then against the Spiders. First half, Blake Francis hits his first 3. He was 5 of 9 from behind the arc. 20 points in all for the game. UMass keeping it tight in the first 20 minutes. TJ Weeks with the reverse layup led them with 14, but Jake Gilliard right around to Grant Golden down the lane. He had 16. Spiders led by 11 at the break. Nathan Kao in the second half, the hoop and the foul. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds. Spiders win 79-65. They move up to 3rd in the conference.
I do feel like tonight's game was more like us. A high number of assists, very few turnovers. We shot the ball pretty well, not great. And we really fought and it gave great effort on defense.
Tyrese Radford back for the Hokies tonight. They were coming off a 2-week COVID layoff. He had 11 points in 36 minutes. Hokies and Jackets tied at the half, but the layoff bit the Hokies in the second half. Georgia Tech outscores them 49-25. 26 points for Moses Wright, and the Jackets go on to win 89-53. Tiger Woods is lucky to be alive tonight, according to the LA County Sheriff's deputies who responded to his car accident this morning. Woods crashed about 30 miles south of downtown LA. There were no visible signs that he was impaired, and he was wearing his seatbelt. Reports say that Woods suffered 2 crushed legs, including a compound fracture of one and a shattered ankle. Deputies said he was awake and alert when they pulled him from the vehicle. Woods was rehabbing from a back procedure just before Christmas. He has not yet played in a PGA event this year. That is the latest from the Toyota Sports Desk.
Yeah, good evening, Sean. Virginia Tech head coach Mike Young had nothing but good things and positive things to say about his team afterward. He cannot complain about their effort. He couldn't complain about their defense. The one area that he thought they might have come up a little bit short was handling their good fortune, especially when they had one of their largest leads of the game.
Go up 8. We miss a layup. They score. We're where we want to be. We're in good shape. Didn't handle some things very well, but I thought Florida played awfully well, and they won. They advanced. We go back to Blacksburg, and that's hard to swallow.
Still an excellent season for the Hokies, and they expect to be even stronger next year. Their loss means there are only 4 teams from the Commonwealth left, and for the first time, all 4 are actually here in Indianapolis. UVA arrived today after having to isolate and quarantine for an entire week following a positive test within the team at the ACC tournament last week in Greensboro. They only had 1 practice before they came here, but the mood of the team is actually pretty good considering they haven't been able to fully share what should be one of the most exciting times in a college basketball player's career.
Thankfully, we got some good news that if we were able to test out this week and negative, we'd have a chance to play. So I think everyone's been really optimistic and trying to take the quarantine as seriously as possible so we can have that chance. But my brother's in the bubble right now, so I'm seeing kind of what it's like without being there. So I don't know if I'm jealous of him or not, but it'll definitely be cool if we have a chance to actually go there.
Virginia plays Ohio tomorrow night. Later tomorrow night, VCU gets into the dance with their first game against Oregon. Head coach Mike Rhodes does not want his team to merely be satisfied just making it this far.
Here, let's just not be satisfied that we got here. Let's see what we can do while we're here. And, that's the purpose of this whole week for us now. Let's enjoy this, right, that we are in the dance, but let's put something together and be ready to go here on Saturday to get a win.
And don't forget, this is week 4 of Final Score Friday. Sean will have all your scores and highlights coming up tonight after basketball. The news at 6 back in Richmond will continue right after this. Bob and Chris, thanks very much. You guys mentioned those super seniors, 6 of them in their 6th year of eligibility, part of a group of 22 returning starters from the spring. Every player that started a game in the spring is back here in the fall. They all won't be starting, but that's more experience that head coach Russ Huesman can count on. The offensive line alone has 123 career college starts spread among the 16 players that Huesman is carrying on his offensive line. 16 of these players have started at least 19 games. That's about 2 full seasons worth of experience. 22 of these players have started in at least 15 games. What does that all mean? Huesman told us earlier this week that it means they didn't have to spend as much time teaching what they were looking for. These kids are all instinctively aware of what is expected on the field. They could spend more time in the fall camp fine-tuning. And running back Aaron Dykes also said they have installed this offense faster than any he has ever seen in his time here at Richmond. And like every other team, they're sick of hitting each other. They want to go find somebody in a different colored jersey. And that starts here in a few minutes.
Halftime interview with head coach Russ Huesman. Here's Lane.
Thanks a lot. Coach, we talked a lot about your experience before the game. What have you seen out of that experience in the first 30 minutes?
Well, I think Joe's playing really well offensively. We're giving him some time back there. That's a good thing. I don't think we're running the ball tremendously. And our wideouts have made plays. I mean, Josiah and a couple of them made some really good catches. Offensively, I think we're fine. Defensively, it's embarrassing. It's ridiculous.
Well, you didn't know a ton about Howard coming into this. What adjustments do you make now, knowing what you know after 30 minutes?
Well, for one thing, we probably need to teach him to tackle. That's one thing. 2, we should teach him that when you're covering that guy, you cover the guy. You just don't let him run down the field. That's not a real big adjustment. Tackle, cover a guy you're supposed to cover. It ain't like they're getting beat. So pretty embarrassing, and we'll get it fixed on defense.
All right, Coach, thanks. Good luck in the second half.
Here's Lane.
All right, Bob, thanks very much. Coach, you only had a couple of games in the spring. How much more do you know about your own guys after the first 30 minutes?
Man, we're figuring it out, right? Quarter by quarter, half by half, day by day. We're all still trying to figure it out. But I know this is a resilient bunch of young men. Everything that they've been through with being home for a whole year and playing only 2 games and practicing in the ice and the snow and everything else just to have a chance to play this game. So this is a resilient bunch that I know we're going to get a lot of great effort and passionate football out of. So just that we know that part of it. And once you got that, now you can put all the other things together.
You're able to hit on a couple of big plays in the first half. Those are obviously gravy. What do you got to do in between the 20s, though, to keep the momentum going?
That's exactly right. We got to become consistent, hold the ball, put together drives, and not just be a big play deal and make mistakes that kill ourselves and penalties and different things like that. If we don't beat ourselves, we'll give ourselves a chance here in the end.
Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck in the second half. Bob and Chris, send it back up to you guys.